everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my magical girl station, aka my desk. As you guys know, and for those that don't know, Luna. Oh my god. As some of you guys know, and for those that don't know, I have a series of videos where I match movies with each zodiac sign. I also match them with each personality type. I've done Howard's houses, but I have never done anime. I've done anime movies. I thought it would be the breast. So I thought it would be the best combination of matching anime series with each zodiac sign. Of course, there is so much anime in the world that I have not seen. So if you think that there's a better anime out there that fits each sign or your sign or whatever, then please let me know in the comments and then I can check it out. We're interrupting this program to deliver a very important message. Let's hear from a reporter in the Dominican Republic, Monika. Thank you, Monika. It's very important that everyone knows about the sponsor of this video, NordVPN. If you're not using a VPN, you definitely should, especially if you're someone like me who's watching movies and TV shows all day, every day. I'm in the Dominican Republic right now visiting my family, and because of NordVPN, I didn't have to stop watching any of the shows that I was watching in the US. I can still watch Haikyuu here with no problem at all. There's actually 59 different countries that you can set NordVPN to, and that way you don't have to miss any of the movies or shows. It's super easy to use with incredible speeds. It's actually the fastest VPN on the market, and you can connect up to 6 devices. With it, you can also use different streaming platforms that are not available in your country. For example, here in the DR, we don't have Hulu, we don't have HBO Max, but with NordVPN, I am still able to watch them. It's honestly amazing. I honestly didn't know how much I needed a VPN until now. I'm so happy that it coincided with me coming here because that way I don't have to miss any of my shows, any of my anime, any of the movies that I want to watch. You can go to nordvpn.com/Monika or use code Monika to get a 2-year plan plus a bonus gift with a huge discount. I'm gonna leave the link in the description, so make sure to check it out. Okay, back to you, Monika. Thank you, Monika. We can now go back to our regular programming. So without further ado, let's start with the first sign, and it's Aries. Aries are very passionate people. They are just relentless and super determined. They are super competitive and they just know what they want and they go after it. They're not often filled with doubt. They're just very confident in their decisions. They have strong opinions. They are very self-aware. Like I said, they just go after whatever they want. So I thought that the perfect anime for Aries is a classic that we all miss and love, and it's Yuri on Ice. I remember the time when Yuri on Ice was airing and it was wild. On Twitter, everyone was going crazy each week with every new episode, and I'm just so sad that they just never continued it. I thought that there was gonna be a movie or a season 2, and then it just never came. So I chose Yuri on Ice, which is a show about these figure skaters, and they are competing in these, are they called tournaments? I don't know, figure skating tournaments. Yuri, who is the main character, at first he's so not confident in himself and he just feels like he's not good enough. But as the season goes by and as he gains strength and confidence through his mentor Victor, he learns that he can actually achieve what he sets his mind to. And I thought that that was very Aries. Also, I feel like Victor is just a very passionate person, confident, he goes after what he wants, and that just really reminded me of Aries. I think Aries would like this anime because it's a sports anime, and with sports anime it always comes like competition and bettering yourself and gaining strength and gaining confidence, so I thought that it would be a perfect match. Plus, it's just a great anime. There's romance and great music, and it's just a joy to watch. Season 2, when? The next sign I'm going to talk about is Taurus. Taurus people are very calm. They like stability. They like things to be predictable, not necessarily a lot of surprises. They do appreciate the beauty in this world. They are very drawn to beautiful things and beautiful places. They really like consistency. When they find something that they really like, they just keep doing that thing because it's what brings them the most joy. They are not necessarily looking for new experiences each time, but when they find something that they really like, they just stick to it. The anime that I think fits Taurus is Restaurant to Another World. So Restaurant to Another World is this really calm and sweet anime. It's about this very mysterious restaurant that you can access through a door that appears in just different parts of the world. At the restaurant, different people from different places are always coming in, and in each episode we meet different people, and it's just very, very sweet. I chose this one because this is a very constant anime. Each episode has pretty much the same structure. There's not really like a huge, bigger story. The scenes about the food are just really beautiful, beautifully animated. So I think this is something that Taurus could appreciate. I always watch this anime when I just wanted to watch something and just feel cozy and calm, and I wasn't necessarily looking for action or like something with a huge big plot. Again, just like a very cozy and straight to the point show. The next sign I'm gonna talk about is Gemini. So Gemini are very versatile. They just really know how to adapt to each situation. They're pretty much afraid of being alone. They really long for a partner and someone in their life that they can be comfortable with, as well as they just like to be social and be around people because they really feed off of that. They just, for the most part, don't like to be alone with their thoughts. They like to, you know, have conversations with people. The anime that I chose for Gemini is Watakoi. So Watakoi is an anime that I watched very recently, I think last month, and I absolutely loved it. I can't wait for season 2. If there's gonna be one, I hope so, because I just absolutely loved it. It's about these 4 adults, actually. Yes, they are like 26, 28 years old, which is weird for like a romance anime. It's always about the high schoolers, you know? But it was refreshing to just see adults in this like super slice of life romantic anime. They all have office jobs, but they have a secret, and that they are actually otakus. So basically each of them have obsessions either with like games or anime or manga. They like to hide that part of themselves, especially at work and especially when they're like in the dating world. I chose it for Gemini because just like a Gemini, they can basically adapt to any situation. These people have really boring office jobs and they have to play this part during their jobs, but outside of their work they can be themselves and talk about all of their otaku things. Also, it's just super fun and entertaining, so I think Gemini could really appreciate that about this anime. But even if you're not a Gemini, please watch this anime. It's so great. The next sign is Cancer. Cancers have a lot of layers to them.
¡Capas! Las cebollas tienen capas. Los ogros tienen capas. Las cebollas las tienen. ¿Entiendes? Ambos tenemos capas. Ah.
The deeper you get to know them, the more layers you get to peel off and get to know different parts of them. They are really affected by the world and grief, and if their friends are suffering, they're suffering too. They are super vulnerable and they have learned to sometimes just hide their pain so that they don't worry the people around them. They usually just pretend that they're okay even though they're not, which can really affect them in the long run. They really like art, and especially old art forms, and they can really appreciate things of the past. The anime that I chose for Cancer is Your Lie in April. If you guys have watched Your Lie in April, you know that this is the anime to make you uncontrollably cry and weep. It's just so emotional that you feel either like super sad or very uplifted. It's about this young boy who is really good at the piano, but because of some trauma that he suffered through his childhood, he no longer plays. Or actually, he can no longer play because there's so much anxiety that goes through him that he can't even hear the notes that he's playing. He befriends this girl who is really good at the violin, and she kind of reminds him what it's like to play passionately again and play because you really love it and not because you're playing for other people. I love this anime because it deals with a lot of really deep stuff. I mean, he really goes through traumatic experiences when he was a child, and he's now deeply affected by them. He has a lot of anxiety. This anime is great, and it just reminded me a lot of Cancer. He has this burden inside of him, this grief, this sorrow, and because of this girl that he met, he's trying to kind of break all of that. But it's not easy. It's extremely hard. Also, I really thought Cancers would appreciate a really good emotional anime with great soundtracks. So my sign is not Cancer, it's actually Scorpio, but my rising sign is Cancer, and I feel the most identified with Cancer. Yeah, Your Lie in April is probably one of my favorite animes, so I thought it would be fitting. Leos. Center of attention, you Leos. Okay, so Leos are known for being extremely bold. They don't mind the spotlight to be on them. They have a lot of charisma and they're very warm people. They're super confident in their actions and they're just natural and effortless. The thing about Leos though is that they're actually vulnerable, but they don't like to show it. They like to appear like this unbreakable person, but it's because they don't want to show how vulnerable they are. The anime that I chose for Leo is Toradora, or Toradora.
I usually pronounce anime names as I would say them in Spanish, which is my main language, but because I just feel like the R's, like you're supposed to pronounce the R's, but then I'm speaking English in the video, so I should pronounce it like a person who speaks English would pronounce them. I don't know.
So this anime is about this high schooler who has an intimidating look. He is not at all an intimidating person, but because of his look, people don't want to get too close to him. Then there's this girl who is just very tiny, but fierce. She's kind of self-centered and has this really strong personality. The two of them strike up a friendship because they are neighbors, and they decide to help each other with their love life. And then you know what happens. I chose this one because I read somewhere Taiga is actually a Leo. And you know what? I can definitely see it. She has this strong and out there personality, but in reality, she's actually very vulnerable. She has a lot of things that she's insecure about. She just doesn't like to show it at all. That really reminded me of Leo. The next sign I'm gonna talk about is Virgo. Virgos are perfectionists in every aspect of their lives. They have very good attention to detail, and they're also very intelligent. They're not as good at expressing themselves. It could be because of their introvertedness, but also they feel like they don't need to share every single aspect of themselves all the time. They can appreciate other people expressing themselves and sharing their feelings, but they don't necessarily feel like they have to do the same. This can make them seem like they are sometimes emotionless. Virgos, they need a sense of purpose. They need to have something that they're working towards. They need to be checking things off of their to-do list, and they love setting goals that can possibly make an impact. The anime that I chose for Virgo is Violet Evergarden. Violet Evergarden is about this ex-soldier who is now living as a ghostwriter. She's hired by people to write their letters. She is also very emotionally detached. She often seems like she's emotionless, but really she's just trying to find those emotions within her. And it's just a very emotional ride. I chose this anime because Violet is someone who just seems very perfect. She does everything diligently. She's really good at the things that she does. She's not so good at the emotions of it all. This anime is extremely beautiful. It makes me cry because I feel like it really knows how to deal with human emotion through Violet. It's like you're learning with her and you're learning through her letters, and it's just really beautiful. I feel like Virgos will appreciate that doubtfulness of showing your true emotions, but ultimately, wanting to do so. And yeah, I feel like they can really identify with Violet. The next sign is Libra. Libras have a lot of personalities. They can really balance out each and every one of their qualities at whatever time that they want. They are very receptive to other people, so they have learned how to mirror whatever the other person's feeling. This is why they can just adapt to whatever situation. They are very compassionate. They have a lot of empathy. They are empaths. That's a popular word on YouTube. They really try to help others. They really don't like conflict or confrontations, which can be really bad for them because this means that other people can easily manipulate them and they can just do whatever the other person wants. They are not that confident. They are really concerned about what other people think of them, and they just don't like negativity, especially if it's towards them. The anime that I chose for Libra is Mob Psycho 100. Mob Psycho 100 is one of my absolute favorite animes. It's so much fun, so unique, so original. Even the animation is very original. It's about this boy named Mob, and he is a psychic. He has psychic powers that are extremely powerful, but his personality is very shy, quiet, reserved. He meets this guy who is a con man, basically. He employs Mob in his business of getting rid of evil spirits for other people. He basically takes advantage of Mob, but he does it in a way that you can't possibly hate him. I thought this anime was very fitting for Libra because Mob is someone who is very concerned for others. He's willing to help the people he cares about, but at the same time, he doesn't like confrontation. He doesn't really stand up for himself that much, and he is being very easily manipulated, but still he is extremely powerful. This is a really fun anime, one of the most fun I've had watching an anime, and like I said, it's just very original. It's really so funny. The next sign that I'm gonna talk about is Scorpio, my sign. So Scorpios are very difficult to get to know. They are often just very reserved. They just like to keep to themselves. They're usually pretty lonely as well. They don't really like to open up to people because when they open up, they are being vulnerable, and that gives other people control over them, over their emotions. Scorpios just like to be in control. They don't like having people knowing things about them and basically one-upping them. Like I said, they just want to have that control over their lives, over themselves, over situations, and over other people. The anime that I chose for Scorpio is Erased. Erased, aka one of the best anime of all time, one of the best intros of all time. And yes, I gave my sign one of the best animes. I swear, it's not coincidence, I just felt like it really fit Scorpio. So Erased is about this 29-year-old guy who is sent back in time 18 years to when he was a kid to prevent a murder. He's working really hard to save these people from this awful fate. I chose this one because it's a thriller, it's super mysterious, you never really know what's gonna happen, and I feel like Scorpios will like that thrill. Also, the main character, he's basically controlling fate. So I feel like that was very fitting for the description I just gave Scorpio. I think that this one is the right amount of dark and emotional that Scorpios will really like. The next sign I'm going to talk about is Sagittarius. Sagittarius loves to explore the unknown. They just want to have this understanding of the world. They seek knowledge. They seek meaning in everything. They are explorers and adventurers. The anime that I chose for Sagittarius is Madoka Magica. So on the surface, this anime seems like just another magical girl with a bunch of best friends who gain magical powers, and they have these outfit transformations and the cute little pet. Oh boy, it is much more than that. This is just such a deep anime that deals with a lot of things that are not seen on the surface. I don't really want to give a huge explanation because I don't want to give spoilers if you still haven't watched this, but I feel like Sagittarius will really like this one because it's ultimately about the human experience, the knowledge that each human has of themselves and of the world. Yeah, I just thought it was the perfect fit for Sagittarius. It is extremely deep and dark and twisted, so I don't want to give out spoilers because it does not start out that way at all. The next sign I'm going to talk about is Capricorn. Capricorns are not interested in having the attention all to themselves. They don't really want to be known for their looks or anything like that, but they do want to be respected for their abilities. They really want to hone their craft and spend time perfecting their craft so that they can get respect for it. They're often called workaholics, but really they just have a fear of failure. They just want to be able to self-sustain. They don't want to depend on others. The anime that I chose for Capricorn is Food Wars. Okay, so Food Wars, if you've seen it, on the surface, it's about people that can cook really well, so well that other people like go really crazy for it, but it's much more than that. Soma, the main character, he is extremely great at cooking, and he just wants to get better and better and better and better to the point where he is the best. This anime is about him trying to improve his skills, trying to be the best version of himself that he can be, especially at cooking. It's super entertaining, it's super funny, and if you can get past, you know, the very reactions people have towards, you know, the cooking, if you can just find it hilarious, then yeah, this is a really good and funny anime. At first I was very weirded out, but then, you know, I got used to it. I was like, that's a great steak right there. The next sign I'm going to talk about is Aquarius. Aquarius like to march at the beat of their own drum. They like to have opinions that differ from other people. They just want to defy society and defy other people because they just don't feel like they have to fit in with the world. They would like to just create their own world, and they do so in their heads, where everything is just up to par to their ideals. The anime that I chose for Aquarius is Saber Marionette J. Now this one is a pretty old anime that I watched when I was a kid. I was absolutely obsessed with it. I promise you that even though it looks old, it has that 90s anime aesthetic, it is great. This is an utopian anime. In this world, there are no women left alive. The women that are left are these marionettes who are basically robots who serve as workers and soldiers. However, there's 3 of these marionettes who are different from the rest of the marionettes because they have human emotions. They are accidentally discovered by this young guy who is now basically in charge of them. They all get really close and they're basically like a little family. A lot of things happen in this world that the 3 marionettes now have to fight for, and there's so many other secrets to uncover about them, why they have these human emotions and other marionettes don't. It's just super interesting and unique. The marionettes have such a cool design that no wonder I was attracted to this anime when I was a kid. I feel like Aquarius could really like this anime because it's about futuristic world that is very different from the world that we live in right now. I think that they would really like an anime that is not necessarily set on Earth, and this one is just perfect for that. I remember coming back from school every day and putting on the anime channel on my TV and watching this anime every day, and I miss it. I really liked it, and I hope Aquarius likes it too. Okay, we've reached the last sign, and it is Pisces. Pisces are dreamers. They have a huge imagination that really sets them apart from anybody else. They are super creative. They're also extremely selfless. They will do things for other people, and very gladly so. And a lot of the times they often forget about themselves because they are just always trying to make others feel better. They don't mind helping someone in need even if they don't get anything else in return. They are very emotional. They're just very in touch with their emotions, and they like to explore those emotions within themselves. The anime that I chose for Pisces is Orange. Orange is another one that will bring out the tears, so many tears. It's about a girl who is in high school and she receives a letter from her future self. This letter tells her that there will be this new student coming into her school that will sadly die. This leads her to trying to prevent the death of her classmate. This anime is very emotional. I thought this one was good for Pisces because Naho is very selfless. She wants to save this person from dying, and she is trying to do so at the best of her abilities. Also, I feel like Pisces will get in touch with their emotions while they watch this because the tears will roll down your face when you watch it. It's a great anime about friendship, about grief, about depression. I just love it so much. I feel like Pisces could really appreciate it. And that is it for all of the signs. I hope I did a good job matching the anime with the signs. Please let me know if you have another anime suggestion for any sign, or if you've watched any of these animes, or if you're interested in watching the anime that I recommended. I really suggest that you watch all of these animes because they're all great. Also, let me know if you guys want me to talk about more anime movies, more Studio Ghibli. I will be very happy to do so. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.